How can ugly people be super attractive? Okay, that's kind of blunt, right? There are no ugly people. We're all made by God and we're all beautiful, right? Well, cultures tell us who is beautiful and who is not, what is beautiful and what is not. Cultures all over the world celebrate different things to make you beautiful. And some of us just feel ugly. So if you're in a culture where your physical characteristics do not line up with what your culture says is beautiful and you feel ugly, then this video, this podcast is for you. I'm going to give you 9 ways that ugly people can be super attractive. Okay, these are in no particular order, so don't think that I've ranked them 1 through 9. But let's go. Number 1, embrace your quirkiness. So you might call it quirkiness, you might call it ugliness, whatever you call your unattractiveness or what you feel to be unattractive, embrace it because that's who you are. There are some things that you can change, there's some things that you can work on, but there's some things that you just can't. So embrace that, embrace your quirkiness, embrace who you are, because once you build confidence and you're comfortable in your own skin, you automatically start being more attractive. No doubt about it. When you see somebody, before you even know them, you're already judging them on the way they look. But once you start to know them, if you feel that confidence, you look right through any physical thing that they have, and now you're involved with the person. Usually that starts with them embracing who they are and being comfortable in their own skin and being confident. So rule number 1, tip number 1 for how ugly people can be super attractive is embrace who you are. Embrace that about yourself. Sometimes a comical self-deprivation is funny. It's good because you talk about it. Not that you're going to talk about your quirkiness or your ugliness or your flaw, whatever you feel it is. Not that you're going to let that be your identity and that's all you talk about. But if you bring it up every now and then and you're comfortable with it, I'll give you an example. I was watching a comedian who had a monster nose, huge nose, walks out on the stage, and that is the thing that you see immediately is his nose. So he walks out there, he grabs the microphone, and the first thing out of his mouth is, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Size matters. And everybody busted out laughing. It was really funny because he took a play on a phrase that's out there and he played on it with his nose. He called it out right off the bat, and then he was funny the rest of the time, and he didn't even pay attention to anything physical about him. So that's an example of how you can kind of self-deprivation, where you can laugh or joke about whatever it is that you feel is your flaw. But don't let that be your identity. Don't everywhere you go say, I'm heavy. I'm heavy. I'm the heavy one. Oh, I better not sit there. I'm going to break the chair. It's too much. It's too much. And then it starts becoming self-pity and people don't want to be around you because that's all you talk about. But if you can have confidence in who you are and kind of celebrate it and kind of laugh it off, and you mention it in subtle ways, very seldomly, but when you do, you're confident in who you are. So number 1, be confident and comfortable in your own skin. Number 2, let your actions advertise your greatness. What do I mean by that? Well, everybody has something that they're good at. They can either sing, they can draw, they can play an instrument, they can write books, they can write poetry, something. They're great at web design, they're great at graphic design, they're great at something. You can do something that you love. Maybe you're a gamer. Maybe you love rom-coms, romantic comedies. Maybe there's something that's your thing. Embrace whatever your thing is and be good at it. Don't talk about it all the time, because people who brag on their greatness or brag on their skill rather than just doing it, There's something super attractive about stumbling across somebody's greatness when they're just being great, not when they're telling you about it. So if you're with somebody and then you see something that they've drawn, like this great piece of art, or you find out that they wrote something just really beautiful and you found out that it was them, or they're a photographer and they took this great picture. There's something about somebody's greatness that makes it super great when they don't advertise it. So let your actions speak for your greatness. Whatever that is, just do it. Just be good at it and let people see what it is that you do. If that ever turns into talking about it, it's not good and it's not attractive. So you can't say, oh, I love to draw and you should see my drawing sometimes. I'm going to draw something for you sometime. I drew that. Did you see that over there? I drew that. You can't do that because that's not attractive at all. So let your actions speak for themselves. Whatever your greatness is, just be that. Because I'm telling you, when people find out your greatness through your greatness, rather than through your words or through somebody else's words, that's fantastic and that's very attractive. Number 3, be willing to do your own thing. Don't always cave into peer pressure. Just because other people are doing stuff, you don't have to do that to fit in. Now, you don't want to always say no to every single thing, but pick and choose and be solid with your boundaries. So number 3, pick and choose what it is that you want to participate in and don't always go with the crowd. You have to be willing to do your own thing even when it's not popular. So if the crowd is going out and you don't want to go out because it's already 11 o'clock, say, nah, I'm cool with it. You guys have fun. I'll see you all tomorrow. There's something attractive in a confident person who's willing to do their own thing and not always go with the flow. People take notice, but they also take notice if you reject every single thing that happens. You have to do some things to maintain friendships, to be in a group, to be in a crowd, to have people, to have a circle of friends. You do certain things, but not always. If it feels like it's something that you really don't want to do, or maybe it crosses a line that you don't want to cross, be cool with saying no. So embrace that and be cool with saying no and be confident in doing your own thing sometimes, even when it's not popular. That is attractive. Number 4, be comfortable being alone. It's okay that you're alone. Some people are loners. Some people get off on that. I love my quiet time. I love being alone sometimes. It is okay. You don't always have to be with other people. So whatever it is that you're feeling that you're less than, be comfortable when you're not with everybody else. You're doing your own thing. It's okay. And you can even talk about that. Talk about enjoying being alone. But don't let that be your identity. You can't talk about it all the time. You're like, all right, I get it. You like being alone. Why are you here with me? Why don't you go be alone? So there's lines in every one of these that you can cross. But just being comfortable with being alone and not feeling lonely and always that you have to be with people, that's a good thing and it's very attractive. Now, you do need people in your life. It's not good to be alone all the time. And you may be, if you don't like it, if you're alone all the time and you don't like it, I would guess a lot of that's on you. You have to go out and meet friends. You have to do things and get outside of your comfort zone and do things with other people to build friendships. That's what friendships are all about, is going and doing and being social with other people. But it's okay if you're alone. Be comfortable with being alone. It's all right. Just don't talk about it all the time and don't wallow in it. Don't wallow in your loneliness or wear it as victimization. Don't wear it as self-pity, where somebody asks, what did you do? They want something interested. What did you do last week? What did you do yesterday? What have you been up to? Well, I'm just at my house all by myself. I'm not really doing a whole lot. Nobody wants to hear that. So you might be comfortable being alone, but don't wear it as a victim badge. You get that? Some people wear a victim badge and they are proud of that victim badge, and that's what they talk about. And then they drag other people down by talking about their victimhood and woe is me. Nobody wants to be brought down like that. So be comfortable being alone, but don't advertise it and don't wallow in it and don't use it as a victimization. That's very attractive when you can be cool with being alone, because people like independence. People don't like dependent people all the time, or you have to be with somebody else. Be cool doing your own thing and being independent and being alone sometimes. That's very attractive. Number 5, don't get caught up in gossiping or talking about other people or being critical about other people. I've talked on another video, another podcast about a critical spirit where you always feel the need to put somebody else down. That does not build you up. That does not make you more attractive. So when you're out and you're feeling unattractive, you're feeling ugly, the last thing you want to do is pick a common enemy and start bashing them, because it doesn't make you look any better. You need to stand up and ignore that and walk away, and don't take part of criticizing or gossiping. So if that's the popular thing, just kind of bow out, maybe talk about something else, change the subject. But don't find yourself gossiping or talking negatively about other people. Sometimes in a sick way, it might feel like I need to talk bad about other people to raise myself up. At least I don't do that. I'm a little better than that. Can you believe that they did that? So by putting somebody else down, you feel like you're lifting yourself up. Not the case. It's very unattractive to talk negatively about other people. Don't have that critical spirit. Be cool with being positive, because people love positivity. There's something contagious about positivity. People want positive friends in their life. Don't get caught up in gossiping, because that will make you very unattractive. Number 6, and this is a good one, defend the unpopular. Defend the weak. So if there's somebody being talked about, or you see somebody who's a little less than, or a little down and out, or maybe they're, the one feeling ugly, be their cheerleader, come to their side, stand up for them, be their friend. Be the friend of the weak, because people take notice of that, and that is a very cool, very attractive factor about people when you can defend the weak, when you can stand up for somebody who can't stand up for themselves. Maybe you need that in your life. Maybe you need somebody to stand up for you sometimes. And you see how attractive that is. You see how cool that is. So, very cool way to make yourself attractive is to always stand up for the weak. Defend the weak. Defend the unpopular. Try to be there and be their friend and take up for them. Now, not that it's going to be argumentative. You don't want to start this big argument or anything, but just be there and be sensitive to it. In your social environments, just be sensitive to times where you feel somebody is getting the lower end of the deal, or somebody's having a bad day, somebody's getting picked on, somebody's getting bullied. Stand up for that person. That is super cool and super attractive. Number 7, I love this one. Remember the finer details about people. Listen, when you're talking to people, when you're having conversations, when you're out with friends, whether you're with coworkers, family, listen to their stories and pick up on the fine details. Because next time you see them, if you mention something that they said, if you say, hey, I did watch that show you were talking about, you're right, it's really cool. Or, hey, where did you get that shirt, that blue shirt that you wore last time when I saw you? Because that was really cool and I've been looking for that shirt. Ask about their kids, ask about work, ask about different things in their life that they mentioned. Because most of the time, we're so interested in how we look or how we feel or what we're going to say or ourselves not looking stupid that we don't really listen to other people. When they're talking, it's just like, wah, 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 wah. You're not really listening. You're just smiling and nodding and looking around the room, maybe trying to find the next person to talk to. But listen, make eye contact with people, listen to them, and later on bring up those stories, bring up the fine details that they talked about. Remember fine details about people and then bring it up later. The next day, the next week, a month later. The next time you see them, bring something up that they talked about or did or mentioned, and that is super attractive. People love being loved. They love being somebody. Everybody wants to be somebody. And they feel like somebody when they're validated, when somebody heard them, Or maybe they say something that they want that's real, that you know how to get it. You know how to hook it up. You know how to get whatever it is that they're talking about. Just surprise them. If they mention it, just go get it for them. Not something super expensive, of course, but if it's easy and you can do it and you've got the means to get it, just get it and say, hey, I heard you were talking about this. I went ahead and got it for you. I went ahead and got you one of those. Those are super cool traits, and people love being heard and they love feeling validated. Super attractive quality is listening to the finer details when people talk and then bring it up later. Number 8, this is a good one too. Celebrate others. It's okay to celebrate other people. It's super attractive to celebrate other people. So when somebody does something good, they share good news, they did something, they accomplished something, celebrate that person and be okay with it. Don't feel like, oh, I can't celebrate them because I'm so jealous of them. Or if I celebrate them, I'm taking the limelight off of myself. No, it's not about you. It's about you indirectly, but not directly. So when you celebrate other people, you are making yourself more attractive. So if you can laugh at a stupid joke, if you can make somebody feel comfortable, not make them feel stupid, not call them out, not be critical, not be cynical, not be sarcastic. If you can truly celebrate other people and make them feel wanted and loved and good in the room, right? There's an old saying that if you have a boss in a room, they make you feel like they're the boss. They make you feel like they're the most important person in the room because they're the boss. But if a leader walks in the room, they make you feel like you're the most important person in the room. There's a big difference. So inherit that leadership quality and celebrate other people and be cool with celebrating other people because it is super attractive when you do that in an authentic way. Number 9, this is not going to be easy, and some people have it and some people don't, but this is where we land the plane. This is the last one. I'm giving you 9 ways that ugly people can be super attractive. Be funny. Now that's tough because some people have sense of humor and some people don't, but you can build a sense of humor. You can make an effort that the things that you watch on TV, the things that you watch on YouTube, the things that you listen to, the people that you listen to, the shows that you watch, the movies that you watch, the stand-up comedians that you listen to, you can start bringing some of that into your life and find out what is funny, test it on family or whatnot. Now, you're not going to try to be a clown or be a comedian, and you're not going to be stupid with it, but sometimes attempts to be funny when you're not funny is funny. So there's an art, there's a whole art around being funny. But humorous people have a lot of friends, and humorous people are very attractive. It really doesn't matter what you look like. If you're funny, you're going to have a lot of friends, and you're going to have a lot of warm people who care about you around you in your circle of life because you're funny. Now, like I said, it's not something that you can just have or like, hey, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be funny. Doesn't work like that. You got to work on it. It takes years of watching movies and stand-up comedians and culture and listening to other people to inherit some funny. You need to find out what it is that makes you funny, what things you can do to be funny. And if you can't be funny, then you just can't be funny. Maybe be funny not being funny. There's an art in that as well. But if you can find it, it is funny. And it is very attractive when people are humorous and they try to be funny and lighthearted. That is very attractive. So there are 9 ways that you can be super attractive, even though you might feel like you're the ugliest person on the planet or the ugliest person in the room. I guarantee you, you're not. It's all in your head, and it's all what culture is telling you anyway. But there's 9 ways. Certainly you can pick a handful of those to start incorporating them into your life and being super attractive. See you next time. Thanks for stopping by.